Welcome to the Homeschool Show for North Carolinians for Home Education. I'm your host, Amanda Wares.
And I'm Melanie Willis, and we're here to help you homeschool with confidence and joy.
Awesome. So today we're going to introduce a new segment that I'm super excited about called Learning on Location. And I think this is so great because I know with all of my kids, 4 for 4, they all learn so much if they're able to really see and touch and feel and experience something. So this is our first little example of how you can take your learning outside of your house, outside of your classroom, and
into the world.
Into the world, that's right. So what do you have for us?
So today we're in a graveyard. We are actually going to talk about letterboxing. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. I know Amanda says that she did some geocaching.
Yes.
And so letterboxing is rather similar to geocaching. You have several websites that you can go online to, and they give you information about where these letterboxes are. And I'll tell you about those in a couple of minutes, okay?
Great.
So the first thing is that you're going to want to have some things to take with you to do your letterboxing. Wipes. You always want to get cleaned up after you've been doing this.
Okay.
Or sometimes while you've been doing this. You're going to have a notebook and some type of rubber ink pad stamp. This is the stamp. Mine is a cow because I like cows.
That's
and
awesome.
Then you need your ink pad. Great. And something to write with. So letterboxing, just like geocaching, you'll go to these websites and you're going to find all over the world, everywhere that we go, these things are hidden. All the state parks, all kinds of trails, Walmart, different churches, different graveyards, just everything you can imagine, they're there. I know we stop at a lot of rest areas.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
My brain kicked in for a minute. A lot of rest areas as we go to different towns. At the beach, on all the boardwalks, it's everywhere, all around you, these things are hidden. And so you go online and you just plug in, hey, I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach this week.
Okay.
And so you go look up all these ones that are in Myrtle Beach. And the good thing is that not only does it tell you where they are, of course, it's usually little hints. You have to follow a treasure map or follow a poem sometimes and, do a riddle. But it's going to tell you, hey, has it been found recently?
Oh.
Because, if you look at one and it says it hasn't been found for 3 years, probably not going to take my kids there. So I can usually look out and see, okay, these were found in the past couple of months. They're probably there to be found if we can follow the clues.
Gotcha.
So I'll print these out. There are a couple of apps. I'm a paper person, so I just print it all out and go wherever we're going to go. And you follow the different clues. The one here today was literally find a specific grave marker, go down 4 more grave markers, and go back and find so-and-so. They usually make it cute. There'll be a rose or an angel or something that you need to look for. If you're in a trail, it's going to talk about certain trees and different paths, and rocks and things like that. And so then you just find where they're hidden. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There can be all kinds of things. You can find little itty bitty ones that are like, for us older people that you used to have film in for your cameras.
Okay.
There might be something like that, or a pill bottle, or it might be a nice little Rubbermaid that's about this big. Sometimes they're even bigger. So they're usually going to have their own notebook inside the letterbox. And then you have your notebook. Then they're going to have their rubber stamp and you have yours. So you take their rubber stamp out, stamp it in your book, write down the date, maybe write down, something interesting that happened along the way. And then if they have a book in theirs, you're going to put your stamp in there, put down the date and a little note, if we had fun doing this or whatever. Then you're going to go online, wherever you found this from, and say, hey, I found your letterbox. It's in great shape and I had fun. Or you're going to say, I couldn't find it. Or I found it and it wasn't where it was supposed to be.
Oh.
Or I found it in your book is full and you need a new one. And so then that way there's a little bit of communication that happens. But what we're here to talk about today is it really lends itself to learning.
Yes.
We're in a graveyard today. What are we going to learn from this graveyard? This specific one is actually where Ing and Chang Bunker, the Siamese twins, were buried. And there's a very nice little stand out front that talks about them and gives you these little pieces of paper. So I was able to come here and bring my kids and my sister's kids, and we talked all about the Siamese twins. We talked about it just logistically, and where they were and what they did, to a little bit of science that we were able to break down. And I didn't plan any of this. It was just really on the spot learning. We went to one near Fletcher at a lake, that the lake was actually what cooled the power plant.
Huh.
There we are on the fly, and they're like, Mom, what's this? And so we talked all about how it cooled the power plant and the purposes there, but then what a beautiful place it was. So it was really nice to have, everywhere you go, there's something to learn. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean it has to be work. It doesn't mean that the kids have to do extra work. It's just nice conversation.
Yes.
So, and like we were talking about coming here to the graveyard, for me, I'm not a graveyard person. I don't care for them so much, but I'm not afraid.
Right.
And that's what I wanted my kids to learn. A lot of these letterboxes are in graveyards. So now they have good experiences that they don't have to be afraid of graveyards.
Right.
There's just all kinds of stuff to learn.
And how amazing that, again, without sitting down at a desk or a table, without having to write things down, without having to answer questions, how much you can learn. And it's such a just naturally, they just learn it naturally. It's
just
almost
doing
like
life.
Osmosis, doing life. And that's one of the beauties of homeschooling. This is like true homeschooling. I love it. That is so cool.
Just like when the toilet breaks at home, you learn about toilets.
It's so true. I love that. That's so neat.
Yeah.
Gosh,
so
thank you.
We do this, and it's a lot of fun. Now I sometimes do it by myself.
Okay.
Because, the kids are like, well, I don't want to do 10 of them.
That's so fun.
So, moving on, we all know that Amanda was doing the Homeschool Helps with Amanda. And now things are a little different, but we still want to bring that to you. So, Amanda, what do you have for us today?
Yes. So today I'm going to talk about what is the deal with graduation requirements. I have gotten tons of questions, emails, phone calls, video chats about graduation requirements. And here's the deal. In North Carolina, for homeschoolers, there are no state regulated, mandated graduation requirements. When you open your homeschool, when you file that notice of intent, you are basically your own private school. That means you make your own graduation requirements. Now, almost always, I tell people when they're coming up with their plan for high school, when they're coming up with those graduation requirements, to think about what comes next for that student. I had a great talk with a mom this week that her student had some special needs going on. And he was on a path and he was learning and growing and was going to graduate, but probably not going to a 4-year college. That was probably not in his future. And so we just talked about, for this student, what's going to be the most important thing that she wants him to have to learn before she says, okay, now you're graduated. And so she was able to make just a really individual plan for this student. And then when he finishes that plan and she's ready and he's ready, she can say, okay, now you're graduated. Here's your diploma. Yeah. So that's it. That's really all there is to it. That you in different circumstances for each of your individual students, you'll make that individual plan and come up with your own graduation requirements.
How easy it is for us to forget that is our school.
Yes.
And that really leads in, I was going to ask you, I had seen another question this week where somebody was saying, how do I prove that my daughter's in 8th grade? And that leads right into that. So how do we prove that our daughter's in 8th grade?
That's a great question. I don't know that you actually can. I mean, the only thing that you can do as the administrator of your homeschool, as the teacher of your homeschool, you say they are in 8th grade.
You are the principal.
Absolutely. And if you say you document this student is in 8th grade, that's how it is. Exactly.
Very good.
As simple as that. Exactly.
Thank you.
All right.
So we've been talking a little bit about NCHE and what it's like to be a member. What are the benefits of being a member?
Okay, so we have talked about this a little bit. I'm just gonna, in previous episodes, I am gonna now just go over all of the benefits that you get as a level 1 member of NCHE. You can join for just $35. That is a deal. And I've been saying lately, I only have one child at home, and the 3 of us, my husband and I and our son, can't even go to Chick-fil-A.
No.
For under $35. It is crazy. So it's a deal. And here's what you get for that $35. You get 1 free 30-minute online mentor session with any of our mentors.
Very worth it. Amanda's one. I'm one.
Yes, it's great. It's such a good deal. That's a $30 value right there. You get the print copy of our Greenhouse magazine mailed to you 3 times a year. You get a monthly members email, and these are fantastic. They always have great information, resources, special discounts, any kind of special deal that's going on just for members. You get the opportunity to participate in NCHE's high school graduation ceremony. That is just for members. You get the opportunity to purchase, even if you don't participate in the ceremony, you can still purchase a high school diploma. And if you are a member of NCHE, it will have the NCHE seal, the president's signature, and a very nice cover with the NCHE logo on it.
It's really nice.
It really is nice. And your student, if you're a member, has the opportunity to apply for scholarships. We have scholarships every year that we give away. Then, but wait, there's more. This feels like a lot, right, that you get for this. There's also special discounts for several different things. Unbound's Ascend program, schoolhouseteachers.com, HSLDA Online Academy, Glory to Glory Fitness, your HSLDA membership, free chess classes. And they're adding more benefits all the time. So please consider becoming a member. There are so many benefits.
It's just nice to feel connected.
Yes, definitely.
It's a good feeling.
It really is.
So the last thing that we really want to talk about today is our mom's retreat. And I know we talked about that in detail in the first episode this season.
Yep.
And so that is at Camp Caraway. And our dates are November 8th and 9th. Is that right?
That's correct.
And so the early registration has ended, but now you still have plenty of time to register all the way through most of October, right?
I believe so, yes.
And so you can go onto the website, nche.com, and scroll right over to events, and down halfway will be the mom's retreat.
Absolutely. And we would love to see you there. Melanie will be there. I will be there. And some other great ladies. And we would love to have you there as well.
It's really a great time. So I hope you'll be there.
Absolutely. Until next time, continue homeschooling with confidence and joy.